All right. Starting. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. As I always say, guys, I do not take it for granted. Your time here means so much. And of course, if you are new, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. And of course, the notification bell so that when I post a new video, you get to see it first. All right, guys, I have an amazing guest with me today. Neo is joining us. Neo is a life coach, an author, and a motivational speaker. So I will not obviously go on and introduce him. Let him do the honors. So Neo, welcome to my channel.
Hi, Lebo. Thank you very much for allowing me to be part of you today.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. So before we go any further, please introduce yourself. Tell us who Neo is. And yeah.
So Neo is first of all, an author. I'm mentioning author first because that is my core passion.
Okay.
I love to write, okay? So I'm an author, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a life coach. I enjoy helping people to be themselves and to reach their full potential. I'm also an entrepreneur. I do some stuff on the side as well. I have a full-time job as well. I'm a dad to two beautiful daughters. So
Oh,
that's
sweet.
yes.
Oh, that's nice. Wow. Okay. You know what? As you are talking there, I'm realizing that there's so much that you and I really have in common. There's so much that you are doing that I'm also doing as well. And sorry, now are you there?
I'm here, yes.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I'm realizing that there's so many common things that you and I have. And yeah. And wow, two beautiful daughters. Tell me their names, Claire. Can I have one?
Can you have one? No, you can't have one. So the firstborn is Letlogonolo Mabiletsa,
Mm-hmm.
and the secondborn is Kiabetsi Mabiletsa.
Oh, those are beautiful names. Awesome. That is nice. I love those names. Okay, so let's not go to the babies because I love babies. Let's get to the conversation of the day. So, I think for me to actually have this kind of conversation with you, it was triggered by obviously the post that I saw. You wrote a book. I'll make sure that I say it right because if I don't say it right. The book
Yes.
is called Chronicles of a Fatherless Son. And you know what? I honestly fell in love with the poster before I can even read your post because I saw your post on Facebook. And before I could even read what you were saying, the poster itself really triggered a lot in my mind. And seeing the shoes of that little child and then the father there, like there's a story there. So please tell me what inspired that book. And I know that obviously we will get to the you know the depth of it all, but like what inspired you to even start writing that book?
From the very first time I started writing, I wrote my first book in 2012. That was the time when a lot of things were happening in my life, and I had to learn or teach myself to say the circumstances that I've been through are not there to break me, but to make me a better person and to also help others. And you know,
Mhm.
people go through, and I can be an example and the anchor to show people that this doesn't come to destroy you, purpose. And I wrote Chronicles of a Fatherless Son was when I realized that everybody around me has a father. Well,
Mm.
my friends grew up with their fathers, and I was the only one amongst our group of friends that didn't have a father. And I
Mm.
observed their lives, growing and growing faster than, developing faster than mine was.
Mm.
And I said, man, when I looked at other kids that didn't have fathers and their lives were almost like me and they were impacted wrongly and struggling and all that stuff. And I said, let's rise a conversation where most people don't want to go. Let's say something that most people are afraid to say. What is the reason that fathers just disappear? And
Mm,
what are the impacts that will, what are the things that can happen or
mm,
that can bring about that change that we can assist? And we cannot change the whole world, but we can change a person,
yeah.
one person at a time, who can change them and help them to grow and reach that understanding of why it is important to stay as a father and to raise your children. So initially I wrote it for young boys, and I wrote it for fathers. But
Mm,
the people who bought the book the most were single moms who said, no, the story, it touches us so deeply that when another lady said to me, when I look at my son, I look at him and I say, if only he could have 30 seconds or 30 minutes with his father just for ice cream. And those kind of things are the things that showed me that fatherlessness in this country
mm,
is one of the biggest problems. When I was doing research, for instance, it said in Africa,
mm,
South Africa is the second country after Namibia that has the highest fatherless homes. We know, obviously, we'll get into the details of how that happens from where. So
mm,
my writing the book was to just show the world that you are really breaking your children when you leave them.
yeah.
And we not it's not a blame game for daddies. Mothers are also can be part of it also. So
Mm.
I wrote it just to bring awareness and to bring the conversation through.
Wow. All right. That's very deep, and I think, like you're saying, wanting to actually tell a story in a book and somehow make a difference to someone who can read it and actually relate, someone who can learn something from it. So I think what now, could be on everyone's minds when, we having such a conversation about, Chronicles of a Fatherless Son. Am I saying it right? Of a
Yes, that's
Fatherless
the right.
Son, yeah. So I'm curious to, I'm fortunate to have had both my parents, and obviously talking from a woman's perspective. But I'm wondering, because we grow up with this thing, especially with guys. I think what triggered me the most is the fact that um, this is men that actually go through so much, because some men grow up with so much anger, and they are not even able to handle their men. I don't know if, no, I can't say manhood, that's not the right word. They cannot actually practice the way of actually being great fathers or great men out there, because they never had that father figure, if I may say so. And you also have those that obviously feel like, you know what, he was not in my life, but I managed to, step out of that mindset of acting, in a different way from what other men could actually do that have fathers. So now,
Mm.
what experiences did you go through? How was it for you? Take me back to Neo when he was still growing up and needing that father, or when you just grow up and starting to realize that, okay, my father is not here actually. And growing up, how did, tell me the steps of how you got to experience the whole thing, because I think someone out there still doesn't have a father. There's a young man out there who still doesn't understand, and they're struggling to deal with it. So how did you know handle all those steps?
Mm. So I remember when I was around 8 years old, I used to play with other kids, and um, I remember when we were going to school, both parents were holding their kids, the mom this side, the father this side, walking them to school. And I only had my mother. And I kept looking around. I'm like, something is wrong. And that was when the question started to come to my mother, and I asked her, Mom, why does everybody else has two parents and I only have one? It was it was quite painful when you saw other children being brought to school by sometimes their mom, sometimes their dads, and when there's soccer games. I grew up in the rural areas, so soccer was the main thing. And we used to go to sports grounds and we would watch people playing soccer, their father running along the touch line, cheering for them. And obviously, you have just your mom. So
Yeah.
your mom has to go to work because she's playing two roles. So she has to work even on weekends. She
Mm,
can't come watch you play soccer. Now you realize that my mom is doing double. She's trying to be a mom and she's trying to be a dad as well. It is hard on her.
mm,
You also need a father. So you keep bugging her and asking her, where's my father? Where's my father? And only later on I realized that sometimes for our parents can get stress, gets as well, depending on the situation. Because being fatherless is it's not one-sided. It can bring a lot of things. It can be a lot of things, a lot of reasons why your father is not in your life. When I grew up, I realized that.
yeah.
But when you grow up and you see other kids, they're playing with their dads and they keep saying daddy this, daddy that, and for you it's mommy this, mommy that, and it's really a painful thing. And
Mm,
when you think about it, you think about other kids that were disadvantaged as well, who didn't have both parents, and you feel lucky
mm,
that at least you had a mom at least, but it still wasn't easy.
yeah.
And when I think about all my experiences as a young boy,
Mm,
they were nothing compared to what my mother went through, having to be reminded that the father is not there, having to see you struggle with learning how men do things. And it comes back to what you said about men today have no clue what to do because there was nobody there to teach them what to do.
mm,
There's nobody there to teach you what to do. You can't expect an elephant to teach I don't know, a cat how
mm,
to be a cat because it doesn't know. It takes a man to know a man. And
yeah.
if your father is not there, you won't be able to learn them. You won't be able to know them because nobody has taught you. So those are the experiences that I had to go through. I
Yeah.
had to look around and, you know, walking around the road alone and seeing some guy that resembles me a little bit, and I look at them and I'm wondering, where's my father, And if some man shows, some affection to me, I look at them, I'm like, what if he is my dad? You
Mm,
know, Times I wanted to ask the other dads on the road, could you be my father? Could you be my father? I wanted to ask them that, but I couldn't because I didn't know. And
yeah.
I didn't want to obviously
Yeah.
look weird,
I,
you know.
I
And
can like I can imagine. Sorry to jump in there. I
mm,
can imagine that experience, but I think also I think let's be grateful for your mother. I think let's
yeah,
acknowledge your mother at this point because the fact that she was there for you, it really means so much. I mean, imagine not having a mother as well, or maybe I feel like, you know what, the father doesn't want you to actually be a part of your life. So le nna ke dikeng tsamaya o ye ko nkgono re o godisiwe ke mang or whatever. So how if maybe you can touch on the support or the understanding that your mother helped you with in terms of this whole situation, because I'm sure it was difficult for her gore a go explain this is what's happening. I'm sure you asked a couple of times, where's my father, who's my father, and all that. So how did you get? How does she support you? Because I think I look at you. We haven't like physically met, but I look at your posts. I see your videos. I hear all the inspiration that you have. Like you are so positive, and I think it takes more than just growing up and realizing that, hey, life can still continue. I'm sure there's more that went into you being the kind of person that you are today, being able to even write a book about this, because some people are not open to talk about their issues, talk about the problem at hand. So how did you get that support? Because I think we need to acknowledge and help someone who is out there not knowing how to help other people.
So unfortunately, at this point, she passed on many years ago. However, I remember as growing up, she used to instill positiveness, positive words in me, and the words that I remember the most were when she told me, "You're the most strongest person that I know. You can survive anything." And sometimes she wouldn't give me direct answers. I still don't know who my father is. She has never told me, and it was difficult for me to not understand why she's not telling me, because I felt deep inside of me that I deserve to know. But like every time she was supposed to give me an answer, she told me things that instead of me knowing who my father was, I got inspired and I felt like she was preparing me for such a time as this.
Hmm.
And she used to say things like, you are smart, you are intelligent, and you can achieve anything you want. She used to say, um, many kids don't have fathers out there, but they are making it. And so, in other words, she helped me not to have the I'm a victim kind of mentality because I don't have a father. And for a long time, I knew that my reason on this earth was to help inspire somebody that needs inspiration.
Mm.
And I know that sometimes you get boys on the streets and you try to talk to them. I enjoy talking to young boys because I get to learn from them and I
Mm.
get to inspire them as well because they are the future. And
Yeah.
when you talk to them and somebody will say, if my father was there, I wouldn't have gone to Nyaope. I wouldn't have took drugs. I wouldn't have smoked a cigarette. I wouldn't have had so many girlfriends. Wada 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 wada.
Mm.
But but my mother taught me to say, you know what, you are responsible for your life right now, and that's one of the things I'm thankful for, because when somebody says you're responsible for your life right now, it means that you take charge now for your future. You don't prepare your future in the future, you prepare your future now.
Yeah.
And that's the contribution that she made in my life. She made me strong. She made me believe in myself. She didn't give me what I was looking for, but she gave me something. I would probably wouldn't have written the book if I knew who my father was, because the story would have ended there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I don't know who my father is. Now the story continues. I'm having conversations with people. I'm having conversations with young people. I get invited to speak about fatherlessness everywhere I go to. All over South Africa, I travel,
Yeah.
and I speak to people, and I get to learn their stories, and we get to relate our stories, and we
Mm.
realize that some people have accepted that their father is not there, and they are making it worth their while. They are doing something to make sure that somebody else doesn't end up in their position.
Mm.
Some people have given up to say, you know what, I'm literally like my father. So whatever I do, I'm still going to end up like him, which in some cases is true. You get to have the father's genes, and your father left you. You don't see a reason for you to stay and be a father to somebody else.
Mm.
So my mother contributed a lot in making sure that I'm the man that I am today, and I can see it reflect in my kids. I'm there for my kids. I'm a father to them. I love them. I encourage them, and whatever they don't have, I make sure I encourage them to get it. For you can't get another dad, obviously, but to
Yeah.
prepare themselves for the future, to know that anything that you believe you can achieve.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And I think I'm touched by the fact that you put your daughters first. You spoke about them again, and I'm touched by the fact that it's not really an easy thing. Like you're saying, some people end up being nothing and not actually getting out of the situation. And the more you've been explaining this, it cuts even deep because not only did you go through the process of not having a father in your life, you are still in that process. You are still having conversations, and may your mom's soul rest in peace. She's gone today, but still you still don't know who your father is. So but now I'm wondering, were you angry at some point at both of your parents? And how did you, because I think we've been you are very positive, but there's that fragile nail somewhere in you, that little nail in you that through all the positive things that your mother said, you got to be alone and still cry or still feel the pain. I'm not trying to say, what, I'm focusing on the sad side of things, but I want to speak to it, the emotion of going through all of this, because I think men are known to be strong people. um there's this thing ya gore indoda hayikhali, and you know I don't think I remember seeing my brothers cry, honestly, especially if like we would be in a space where there's a bit of emotion. You would always see them ba kgothatsa rona as like younger sisters and all that, me and my sister. So but now I believe that each and every man has that fragile part in them, and I don't know how they show it, but were you ever angry? Were you ever at a point where you feel like, what, this is not fair to me? I'm here on earth, and but now someone who actually contributed to me being here doesn't care about me, or doesn't even want to know where I am or who am I? Like, tell us about that emotion. I think I want to know how, that was for you.
So thank you for that beautiful question. So everybody has to be honest to themselves. I can sit here, and that's what we do as men. I can sit here and look at a beautiful woman trying to appear strong to them and say, you know what, my father is not there, so what, But
Mm,
I always do this. There's a big hole.
yeah.
Every time you think about your father, you think of your heart like this. It's got a big hole there.
Mm,
And nothing you ever do is going to fill that hole. So whatever you do, you always have this hole. Since ever since I started speaking about Chronicles, it was published last year. So from last year, in the beginning, I used to be in a conversation,
mm,
and just literally emotions would just come. And I remember being asked, if your father were to show up right now, what would you do? And I literally just cried, and I said I will jump on him and hug him. The rest I will ask him later. It's
mm.
like one of those things. You're upset that he's not there, but you want him to be there.
Yeah.
You're angry and you say, ah, he must just go to hell, but you know that you want him there.
Mm,
And every time you say, ah, he must just go, there's like a punch in your heart, and you're like, but I want him here, you know. And no matter how strong you try to be, and I don't believe in this men don't cry kind of thing. I think it's just not right. But you will cry, not because not because I don't know what I want to say on that, but everybody cries sometimes, even
yeah,
if you just hide in your
yeah.
room and
Maybe
you
not the word cry, like, but act strong, or try to be brave. I don't.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah I've acted brave many times,
yeah.
but sometimes I would just lose it. Even in front of people, we try to keep our cool. But
Mm,
when an emotion comes, it comes. Like I say, um, when they asked me, what would you do?
mm,
And the fact that I need him at my age, I still need him to
mm,
be there. I don't care whether he's a drunkard somewhere. I don't care if he's I don't know, sick or whatever. At the end of the day, I want to know who I am. And I always say to my friends, guys, look, my uncles, I've got uncles who were really great examples. They still are. And I look at my own brother. We have a different dad. And when I look at those people, they are tall, they are dark and handsome and everything. And I'm not short, but I'm just a half average height. But I'm like, I look at them, I'm like, I don't look like any of them. That
mm,
means I look like my father. But where is he? And them your mind always plays games with you, it plays tricks with you and tell you, hey, you not look like this person, you should sure look like the other one. But deep down inside, man, you just want to hug him, you just want him to be there. you
mm.
you need him, and you cry alone, and you cry everywhere you go, you cry. And
Yeah.
people think that you cry because you're feeling sorry for yourself. No, it's the
Mm,
emotion that you feel at that time. And
yeah.
it's okay to bring it out so that
Mm.
you know, it's not sensationalism. Some people will say, "Hey, are you trying to sell your book by crying?" But
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not that. It's what I feel, and I
Mm.
know what I feel, and nobody else can tell you what you feel. Nobody else can tell you how you feel. So, brother, if you're there, you're watching this, cry if you have to, and
No, I
because
like
nobody is
that.
going to feel at home.
Yeah, I actually like what you're saying, and you are actually emphasizing the fact that it's okay to feel the pain, okay to, you know, to deal with that problem. Because I think most people brush the problem away and convince themselves to be strong. And Bamangwe, like you saying, one would not be honest to say, you know what, the minute I see him, I would want to jump on him. O mongwe o tla ba re, wait king, I'm just gonna tell him where to get off, whatever. And that is like
Yeah,
anger speaking, but that inner person is not actually coming out. So I think, what I'm taking from what you're just saying is that, you know what, be true to your feet, to how be true to yourself and to how
mhm,
you feel, because it's pointless lying to yourself and, still feeling the pain, yet you know exactly, or no, how I'm feeling right now is not how I want things to be done. And
yeah,
it's okay to cry, it's okay to be sad, okay to be mad, it's okay to come back and cry and say, you know what, this is painful to me, because that's the only way you can actually deal with a problem. I think this can be related to any type of problem that you can experience in life, or any situation that, it's very close to your heart, that can try to bring pain in your life. One way or the other, you need to face it and deal with it. And it cannot be easy, but I appreciate the fact that when we grow in life, we grow to stages where we are able to, you know, separate emotions from, understanding and logic and reality. Because truth is, you can't cry forever. And I look at how positive and you are, and how, the fact that you have a book and you are an author, it means that you have opened your heart to helping other people, which I think is big. It's big because, you had to carry all the burden of that experience. And I feel like I don't know. I personally don't know how I would handle that. And
mhm.
it can actually, I can just try to put myself in your shoes, but yeah, I cannot. So I just want to give kudos to you for making a difference to other people, and, you know being open, because people are not willing to speak. people are not willing to be real about what they're going through. And I'm not saying that, like, sharing this on social platforms or on YouTube like we are now is actually the only way. But talking to someone who can help, which brings me to this question. Obviously, when a person is struggling to deal with this situation, how, if they don't have your book, or fine, they can read your book and all that, but like, what would be your advice to someone who is struggling to deal with the fact that I don't have this person in my life, and I don't know how to, carry on. And, I've got, or maybe even their mother, is a similar experience where you lost your mother, but maybe they never got a chance to even get those closure or that motivation from their mother. Maybe their mother said, "Hi, mutwana sepelwena." They didn't instill positivity. How do you help that person who has no one, who was never given that advice to say, be positive and you are amazing, you are great, you're going to be great? What do you say to that person?
So for me, to be able to get to where I am, I had help. So I realized that there's a saying, no man is an island. You can never do life on your own. There'll always be those challenges that hit you back. And even if you have a strong mother like I did, you still kind of need a man in your life that can help you and teach you things. And I had that person. Lucky for me was my pastor. My pastor was very, very resourceful in helping me and teaching me about myself and, you know, how to behave as a man. And on my book, I think it was chapter 12, I spoke about mentorship. There's a lot of mentorship programs for men, and sometimes men, we have this pride of saying, I'm not going to go, I'm old enough, I'm not going to go learn from some guy that I don't know. But there are people that truly, truly cares about other people, that are willing to help you, mentor you. They have programs that even if somebody's not helping you through a specified program, just spending time with you. You know, my pastor used to take me fishing, we used to talk, and I used to, like, I'm quite open, so I talk about everything. I don't have the, I'm a man, I don't talk about this kind of thing. I talk, and he I would make mistakes, and he would say, no, that's not how you should do it. And sometimes I would cry and say, this guy doesn't like me, you know but that's the reality of it. If I'm being raised by my mother, I learn, and this is not an offense to women. I learn when I'm being raised by my mother. I learn that women will discipline you with emotions.
Mm-mm,
uh, i- don't be naughty, otherwise I will take your PlayStation.
mm,
But your dad would say, you are being naughty, pa, slap you, it's over, right? Men and women don't discipline the same. And we grow up being disciplined by our moms. They, instead of smacking us, they manipulate us into not doing something. So we get used to living our lives on emotions and manipulation. And we get you guys. We get a wife, and all you want to do is just manipulate her all over the place. You
mm.
you don't talk to her like a man. So your your emotion, your behavior, and your life is focused on emotion
Yeah.
as a man, which brings me to the next book that I'm writing. It's like a continuation of Chronicles of a Fatherless Son.
Mm.
It's titled Chronicles of a Fatherless Husband, which means the boy child grows up and then he becomes a husband, and
Yeah.
how he behaves. So
Wow.
it's like, yes, so it's good to get that knowledge and that understanding from another man's perspective, especially if he was raised by his own father. The way he reacts to problems is different
Mm.
to the one who was raised by a mother. And our mothers are strong. I don't take that away from them. They can raise boys, they can raise kids, and their kids can do so well. But you find a guy that is doing extremely well in his life, in his career. He's focused on that. He's making, man, triple digits monthly. He drives one of the best cars. He lives in the best houses. But he's got this emotional imbalance that you don't understand where it's coming from, you know. And it is because of that. But there is help out there. There's
That is
mentorship. There's
all.
people that care about men, that wants to talk to men, that wants to guide men and be there for them. So
Wow.
my advice is find somebody.
Yes. So
Yeah,
there is help. So basically, there is help out there. You can't
mm,
really be stuck with
yeah,
that situation. I like that, and I think this encourages a lot of men to be able to go out there and actually find someone who can assist. Because even you notice something simple like seminars and everything. There will be a motivational, inspirational seminar out there, but most of the time you would see maybe women going, men not
mm,
having much interest in being there.
mm,
So it actually triggers a lot of um, understanding that we are all the same, we are all human, we all
mm,
have problems that we need to deal with, and we can't really help ourselves. Even a doctor cannot help themselves, so they need a bit of help. So I think, the advantage of all of this, and which I think someone can actually, be inspired with, is that there are people around you that can actually be a part of you and help you grow. I mean, you saying you had, your brothers, your uncles around you that were there. So it's important to understand that even through your pain, you need to allow yourself to accepting people in your life so that they can be a part of you, so that they can even help you grow as a person. Not necessarily
mm,
because some people get to be o kile bona ba re motho ke le outsider, like you become an outsider. You feel like, what, this is my life, I'm alone. I'm not hard again, I'm not actually, I might be half related to my brother,
yeah,
but my father is not there, so I'm all alone. But you're feeling sorry for yourself in feeling sorry for yourself, and you're not allowing people to be a part of you and help you, which I think is the biggest problem that we all have. And like Neo is saying, get help, find someone who can, help you, whether it's a pastor, whether it's, your uncle, whether it's, even a neighbor, because maybe there's a neighbor who is a father to their kids, and you can even
exactly.
get guidance from them.
Mm, mm.
So yeah, but now you haven't experienced any difficulties with your daughters and all that, and you feel like, hey, I wish I knew this. Why didn't I know this? Because hey,
Well,
like you have daughters, like you can imagine. Hey, I'm sure, I'm sure you're gonna buy a shambok so that when they grow up,
well,
when people pass by the corner, bari, hey, babita bana ba hao, hey, o shapa ba.
yeah. I think every man needs to own a gun or two or something.
I actually wanted to say that maybe you have a gun, so I was just a bit skeptical.
No, they are still young for me to watch them at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm sure your coffee
I
is
think,
cold. Mine is cold.
yeah, I think the advantage that you can have as a man is to, we cannot guarantee that our children will turn out the way we want them to.
Yeah,
But I think the best thing that you can do is just get. I know that I know what women need because I was raised by a single mom. I know
yeah.
women want to be told they're beautiful. So I tell my daughters that
Ah,
women wants to be embraced, so that they don't feel a need for it out there. So I
yeah.
try my best to be as affectionate as possible to them, teach them things, give them things to do. Luckily, one of my last born likes to sing, so I support her.
Oh, that's
She
so
likes
sweet.
to sing. My firstborn is she likes to write, so I listen to her. She's a storyteller. She
Oh,
tells me
beautiful.
stories, and I listen to
Game
them.
with
And
her books are coming up soon, Len.
actually, she's probably launching by the end of this year.
Ah, I want
Yeah.
to buy
So
the book.
excellent, excellent. So I try to be there. A father needs to try and be there and just fill that space. Everybody does something wrong because there's a space missing in them. It's just about understanding that.
Yeah.
When my mother passed away, I s- I started dating an older woman because she gave me that she kind of filled that space.
Yeah.
And if you don't give your daughters that affection, they're
Mm.
going to look for it. Somebody else is going to give it to them. And we can try and prolong it as long as possible. And I told my daughter that she'll get married when she's 40, but obviously, so yeah, it's about that. It's about trying to find what is right, what is working at that moment.
Okay, wow. You know what? I think I don't want to like jinx whatever that we shared. I think you have really spoken about important points, and obviously from the emotion, and I love the matured way of even analyzing this to say, you know what, you shouldn't feel bad about what you're going through. You actually have to deal with that emotion, because I think there's a whole lot of emotions around this topic. But I don't think we should continue with this one, because we've shared like so much about it and it's quite clear. And I'm excited for the new next book, because we want to know how you are able to raise your daughters, having experienced that kind of life and all that. But hey, it is what it is. Ke botshelo.
Mm.
We go through things. We somehow have to find a way to make a way.
To live through it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
have to
you're a
find a way
life,
to live through
you're
it.
an entrepreneur. I think, can you share a bit of what you do and in terms of life coaching in general, and as an entrepreneur, so that we can know a bit about, and also tell us where we can find your book, because we want to know. I'm sure people want to get it now.
Okay, so I make T-shirts like this.
Ah, you're taking my business way now.
I make T-shirts like you. I make T-shirts like this,
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
I'm,
I'll
I'm
buy
my
from
life coach.
you, buy from me, and I'll buy from you.
Definitely, definitely,
Actually, as
and
a matter of fact, we should actually talk about that in business and see, okay, um, who supply, how do you supply yours? Maybe
mhm.
somehow we can actually work together, and you can be my supplier, I can be your supplier. You'll never know,
Yeah, definitely,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we should support each other in
we'll
business.
talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Awesome, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So life coaching is I do mostly emotional coaching. I do confidence coaching. So basically, people come to me, hey, I'm struggling with confidence, or I'm struggling with emotional issues, and I design a 6 weeks program with them. Some people want to do it in 2 weeks. Everybody needs coaching.
Mm,
So and that's how I work. Motivational speaking is people. I do events, or people invite me to their events, and I go and speak for whatever time they need me to speak. For me, the t-shirts and the speaking and the book is kind of like it's a business. I've turned it into a business. Yeah, I still have a full-time job at the moment.
mm.
Just note
And how
at the moment.
And how is that? Sorry to just that, but I think we are done talking about the main topic of the day. But
Yeah.
I earlier when we started, I said there's so much that we have in common. I
Mhm.
remember that I started obviously my businesses, having my day job and all that. At this point, I am no longer working full time. But how is it for you? How do you juggle both? Are you able to focus and prioritize? How do you juggle your you as an author, you selling t-shirts, your clients, and then your day job? How do you balance it? Because hey, it can be hectic.
It is quite hectic. Yes. Well, they say that if you do something that you love, it doesn't. Excuse me. It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work at
Uh,
all.
but my job feels like work, right? I hope my boss is not gonna see that. But
Let's hope so.
but afterwards, I feel refreshed because I'm excited to go home. I get into my techies and I jog. I do my 5 or 8 kilometers and I come back home and I write a chapter. And if I have orders, I deliver orders. I go put the books in whatever Aramex, whatever courier system that the client requested, and I do that deliveries.
Mm,
And sometimes I sleep around 12 at night.
mm,
Sometimes, if I'm lucky, then I can sleep at 9 o'clock. But what I do for myself gives me so much energy that I don't mind doing it. I can do it
yeah,
anytime for as long as I want.
yeah,
And obviously, I'm still a new entrepreneur. I'm still building my dream, and um, I have to work so I can building my dream and have petrol in the car so I can go deliver and go meetings and all that. And
mm,
so I guess I enjoy working actually.
yeah,
I don't like sitting. I enjoy working. So for me, especially after work, at least I knock off early. I knock off at 3, so I still have like many hours, another 6 hours to achieve whatever I want to achieve. So
yeah.
um, outside work, life is quite easier.
Awesome, awesome. So, where can people find your book? Neo, are you there, Neo? Okay, while we'll still try to get Neo back online, I think what he just shared about obviously him working and having a day job. I believe that if you do something that you're passionate about and you know having the desire to push, you can most definitely achieve anything. So it is not easy having to have a day job and have a business at the same time. But I can guarantee you that, it is fulfilling at some point. One way or the other, you have to do it. So if you are out there and you feel like, you know what, I want to do like a side hustle, something like that, but you don't know how to do it, or you feel like you can't do it, just know that it is possible. Now, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know what happened there. We lost network.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just explaining while we were waiting for you to come back to say that, you know what, if you are passionate about doing something, sometimes people find it difficult to have like a day job and run a business at the same time. You have to understand
Mhm.
that one way or the other, one business has to fund another. So
Yeah,
if you are still working on yourself, then do it and, give it time. And then when the time is right, you will focus on your own business and all that. So yeah,
definitely.
we need to actually keep working, and you can never depend on one income stream. I feel like
Yeah.
you can't. Like right now,
Yeah.
I get another job. I can tell you now, I have a design business. I design
Mhm.
websites, banners, whatever. I also have like the t-shirt brand and
Mhm.
also run an entrepreneur puzzle platform. But I need another job.
Yeah, you do, of course. That's my girl. People don't understand that, as we grow, we need more.
Exactly.
And
YouTube, you know what? We should grow on YouTube because we are investing time in it, we are investing content in it. So the
yeah,
bigger goal is that one day it will actually, be monetized, and we get to do so much more and grow.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
another way.
definitely,
Mm,
definitely. Mm.
mm.
So I think you asked me where my book can be
Yeah.
found. It's currently available at West Street in Durban,
Okay.
Adams Bookstore. It
Mm-hmm.
is in Maponya Mall, Soweto.
All right.
And it is at Monte Casino, Scoops Bookstore.
Hi, man. Hi. Hi. Okay. I like
Yes.
it.
And before the lockdown, I was looking at getting it into obviously the mainstream, the bigger bookstores,
Yeah,
which I'll be doing it. Hopefully the lockdown will end soon, so I can just do that.
that,
But you can, if you want the book, you can contact me directly, inbox me on Facebook, Patrick Neo Mabileta, Instagram, Patrick underscore Neo underscore author, and the rest will be discussed there.
all
Yeah.
right. No, I like it. I like it. No, they'll definitely get it. But anyway, how has the lockdown affected you?
Well, let's say it was a blessing in disguise.
Mm.
Why are you eating your nails? Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. Like I feel a bit of pain. So like I don't
Oh,
know, there's like some kind of pain, yeah, like coming out. So I don't know. That's why I've been like trying to,
uh,
you know.
yeah. So no, I was able to write actually 3 books
Mm,
during the lockdown. So it has shown me qualities about myself that I never knew I had.
yeah,
Usually I know that I can write 1 chapter a day,
yeah.
but during the lockdown, I saw myself writing a book in 14 days.
Wow.
And while I was busy writing that book, an idea came and I started another book, which I finished after 25 days
Mm,
of lockdown. And I started another one and I'm almost done with it.
yep.
And so 2.5 books written. So that was a blessing in disguise for me. So
Yeah.
now all I have to do after lockdown is just sell, sell, sell,
Mm,
sell, publish, sell, 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 publish,
I like
sell, 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 sell.
that's an
And so,
entrepreneur talking right there. No, I like that
yeah,
because we have to realize that we're on a lockdown, né? It was
mm,
really a way for to unlock other things, other ideas, other creative skills that you might have. And the
mm,
time that I wonder if there's no one who took the lockdown serious and used their time wisely. I don't know what other time they want to actually do
exactly,
something
exactly.
with their
Yeah,
life because there's really so much and we always have to find positivity out of every situation. So I'm
yeah,
glad that we are ending this video in a good note to say actually you were able to write another book during this time, and now I was able to create more content with people like you now, and soon we will be in business together, you know.
you know,
We shall tell you guys later about the business. So for now,
yeah,
watch the space.
watch the space.
All right, Neo, you know what? This is great. I'm enjoying this. That's why I'm so comfortable. I'm even biting my nails. That's how comfortable I am, guys.
You have such an amazing energy. I like your energy.
Craziness here. The coffee that is in here. I'm crazy like this picture right there. So,
Nice, nice.
I really enjoyed our conversation and thank you so much for engaging with me. And I really love your work as well. I read a lot read a lot of your posts, and I recommend anyone to just go to your platform and then check it out. I mean, if someone inspires me, now tell you 100 times I
Mm,
never commented to say, no, I'm inspired by this, but I was waiting for this moment so that I can tell you,
amen.
you know what,
Thank you.
your work is amazing. And the energy that you have, only that connection already. And I feel like there's so much that we can learn from each other. So, with that
Mm,
said, thank you so much. We will definitely be doing more things later. But of
mm.
course, you watch the space.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you to you. You also inspire me a lot. And you've shown me that you can admire somebody's character and work without trying to be them. And
Ah,
you have such amazing energy that I don't have, but you you are you are different, and
yeah,
I love that. I won't copy it, but I love it.
yeah,
And imagine putting both heads together,
Yeah.
something big and amazing will come out of that. So thank you so much for allowing me to do the video with you and work with you. I really appreciate the opportunity, and yeah,
Thank
looking
you.
forward to
Thank
the
you.
future.
No. Thank you so much. And I like what you're saying. Now, kind of like a real talk. I talk too much. We are wrapping up,
Mm,
but I'm still talking. But something about a person is that you just need to be unique. Trying to be someone else will not actually work. Being
yeah,
unique and being yourself is enough. And that's
yeah,
why, Gary, as much as you don't have this crazy energy that I have, I still have an energy that I'm connecting with. And you don't need
yeah,
to be like, "Phela I'm
yeah.
crazy. I dance,
Uh-huh,
I do
uh-huh.
funny videos." Like today, I posted TikTok videos dancing. That is just
Yeah,
me. But still, you are able to connect with people any way possible. So, hey, we talk too much. Can we just end
yeah.
it here?
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank you. Cheers, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. Mwah. Thank you for watching.